Hey there guys, Tim Heinrich with TeamRev.com, and today I want to share a little message with you today about your why, getting connected to your why. Now, if you've never heard this terminology before, let me explain a little bit about what I mean by that. I'm not talking specifically about your goals. You know, people talk about your workout goals, your nutrition goals, maybe your weight loss goals, what you want to accomplish with your health and fitness regimen. This is the what. Your goals are the what. So think of it as like the lighthouse. If you're the boat out at sea, the lighthouse is that point of focus for you. You see where the shore is, you know where to aim at, so that you're not just flailing around out in the ocean, just revving that motor and not even sure where you're headed. Okay, so the what is important. That's your lighthouse, that's your point of focus, and that's your goal. So that is an important thing to set. But do you know why that goal is important to you? That's what your why is. It's the deeper emotional reason. If we go back to the boat analogy, it's like the fuel in the motor of your boat to get you to the lighthouse, okay? It's great to know where you're going, but if you don't have any fuel to get you there, you're just gonna be bobbing around the sea. And every time you can start trying to paddle your way out there, but you're gonna run out of energy, you're gonna run out of steam, and you're just gonna see that goal as a painful reminder of where you haven't made it all the time. So you need to get connected with that why, because it's that emotional reason, that emotional connection to what you're doing that is going to propel you to keep showing up on the days where it's tough, where you don't feel like getting out of bed to do your workout in the morning, you don't feel like taking the extra time on a Sunday to prep your meals for the week. You'd rather just sit down with your buddies, have a beer, watch the game. I totally get it, all right? And if you're not connected with a why, it's gonna be very easy to just be, screw it, I'm gonna do whatever I want, all right? So this is why we need to get connected to this. Now, this is very specific to each and every one of you, okay? This is not something where I can just give you, like, here's the why. And it's like, all right, I'll take that one, thanks, Tim. It doesn't work that way. You can put a why out there, and a lot of people do this in the beginning if they haven't really given it much thought as far as why they're trying to get in better shape. They just list a reason that sounds good, or one that they heard somebody else give on a testimonial or something like that. Like, you know, hey, I want to lose 20 pounds because, you know, I want to feel better, I want to fit into my jeans from high school. You know, that can be a very good why if that has an emotional connection to you. It's like those jeans that you want to fit into that used to look really good on you, that made you feel attractive, made you feel confident, and, you know, you want to feel that way again. It's the feeling that needs to get involved for your why to have any weight or any merit for you. If you say that and it's really not important for you to fit into those old jeans, then, you know, who cares? Like, what does that matter to you? So this might take a little bit of soul searching. You might have to sit down and journal this out a little bit. Talk to yourself on a day-to-day. It's like, you know, why do I want this? Why is this important to me? Because if you don't, until you get connected with that, again, you're not gonna have the fuel to see it through. You know, this is a process that you have to stay consistent with. And it can be very challenging at times to not only stay consistent, but to show up and do your workouts, to have the discipline to plan out the meals, to say no to the things you know you shouldn't be eating because they don't align with your goals. It's gonna be very easy to fall off the wagon every time there's a temptation. So take the time to connect to this. I'll give you an example. You know, in my why, and I'll say this also to say that, you know, whatever your why is now, whatever you connect to and choose as your reason for now, that's going to evolve over time. When I was much younger, in my late teens, early 20s, I got heavy into weightlifting, and, you know, part of it was the camaraderie. I had a gym partner who helped push me to go, and that was kind of a fun thing. Like, we would show up and we'd hang out for a couple of hours. So that was one of my motivating factors. But the bigger one, for me to show up 6 days a week, an hour a day to go to the gym, and, you know, when you take in transportation time and everything, it was more like 2 hours. For me to make that happen every day, no matter what was going on in my life, was that I wanted to gain that muscular size because I wanted to gain the notoriety and the attention that got at that time. You know, I was a very shy kid growing up. I was very easily overlooked by other people, and so as opposed to learning how to become more outgoing, I decided I'm just going to get huge, and people are going to, you know, that's going to get people's attention. So, you know, that can be a driving factor, and that was a very strong one for me for several years. And then it changed after I had my back injury, and, you know, suddenly my physical abilities changed, my mental perceptions of what I was capable of changed, and now getting big, and I was in a different place in my life. Attention was no longer the big driving factor for me, and so my why was gone, the old why at least, and my perceptions of what I was capable of were gone. So now it was really challenging for me to show up every day. And it wasn't until I went through P90X, having a structured program to follow, where I started, I actually set myself down, like, I'm gonna do this for the 90 days. I really want to get back in the shape I was in before. I want to feel good about myself again. Those were my strong driving factors. And once I proved to myself again, as I kept doing the workouts and realizing, hey, my body's capable of more than I think it is. I had been taking it very easy because I was worried about injuring myself again. And I realized as I kept doing workout after workout in P90X, that I was actually capable of far more than I thought I was. And so that mental confidence started to come back. And with that, I had my driving why I wanted to feel better. I started to feel better, so I started to see the results. That was exciting. And my why evolved into just wanting to feel great, wanting to feel a big sense of vitality in my life and feel confident in myself. Those were strong driving factors, and those are still what drive me today. One of my biggest driving factors now is being a Beachbody coach, being a mentor to people like you and those people out there who are looking for additional motivation and inspiration and are having trouble finding it, like I was after my surgery when I was struggling for a few years to get back on track. My motivator now is to be that example for other people. And so on the days where I don't show up, or I don't feel like showing up, the reminder that I'm trying to make a difference for other people, that I'm trying to be example for other people, is a great driving force to get me up and get me going. And it's like, you know what, I just got to do this. I got to crank out this workout. I got to plan out my meals. I'm going to feel so much better after I'm done. I have that motivator of the end result of how I'm going to feel is enough of a connection to get me up and get me doing it. So I hope that's a good example for you, because that's what I want you to really dig into today. What is your why? If you haven't found it yet, I urge you to take some time today to really focus in on it. Take as much time as you need. Don't just come up with an answer. If you write down an answer, no matter how good it sounds, if it doesn't connect with you in here, then you need to keep searching, okay? Because that answer, no matter how good it sounds, is not your answer, okay? And it doesn't matter how superficial it sounds. It doesn't matter whether anybody else connects to it or not. It's all about if you connect to it, okay? So don't judge your answers. Don't judge yourself for when you do get that emotional connection. Whatever it is, find it today, because that's going to give you the fuel for your boat to get to that lighthouse, which of course is your goal. It's also going to help you define your goals more properly, because you know why you're going after them.